Hello there, back in a dark age of Camelot, again on my Infiltrator. We'll see what the state of the Realm War is like. I really have no idea. I haven't even looked at the map. If anybody tuned in on Tuesday and was annoyed to discover that I wasn't on, probably that didn't happen, I know, but I'm getting... Well, it's almost like carpal tunnel on my right arm here, so I'm taking it pretty easy. I put some painkiller, anti-inflammatories on there and stuff like that, and we'll see how it goes. I expect that this probably won't be a long broadcast as a result, though. I don't want to stress out my... Ooh, okay, might have been somebody else. I thought for a moment there I saw PNA. Anyway, I don't want to stress it out too much because I want to be able to broadcast on Sunday too. And by taking Tuesday off, it made it a little bit easier. Now we're going to rebuff so that it's up there for longer. And I guess you probably would want a camera view rather than seeing my ugly mug. Don't know why I unstealthed there. That was odd. Maybe I hit the wrong button on my controller. Now, what I should do is check task. And Pennine Mountains. Okay. Yeah. I'll go see if I can find a fight first. Of course, I gotta warm up to playing this character because I spend so much time playing different characters. Most recently, I've been playing a different game even, so... Ooh, there's a thought. There is a thought. I'm going to be on the wrong controller setting. That could have gone very badly. No, it's under her and it's under the wrong one. There we are. Okay. Yeah, my first fight would have been a real disaster then. Because nothing would have been in the right spot. I use this awesome left-handed controller called a Razer Tartarus. Version 2. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I'd love to be sponsored by them if anybody is watching who happens to work for Razer. But I have to say I absolutely love this this controller. For anybody playing MMOs like this, I think it's an awesome thing to consider. I wouldn't get the really high-end one that has these double sensitivity buttons, because I think on an MMO, when you get into a fight, you're just going to mash the buttons anyway. So having, you know, one action on a light push and a different action on a heavy push just seems ridiculous. you're only going to do the other ones, the heavy ones, because I know when I get into a fight, I start whacking keys. Even if I'm trying to whack the right keys, I'm still whacking keys. I really have to watch how I hold my wrist here. I think I've overdone it. Broadcasting Twitch 12 to 15 hours a week, and then also working on other stuff on the computer, and then also playing City of Heroes and Valheim and all sorts of other stuff. It's just sort of added up, and I need to back off a little bit. And I need to hold my wrist stiffer too. Now, I took it easy today. I didn't play any games all day. And I massaged my arm and my hand and everything else. Put some stuff on it. I thought, okay, that's great. And then 6.5 minutes into the recording, here I am. I could just run south. My purpose is solely to get into Pennines. Hello, PNA! Yeah, I've kind of started getting like a tingly sensation running down the top of my right forearm. So I might be in the process of stressing my carpal tendons or whatever they're called. So I wasn't on Tuesday because I decided, no, I'm just not going to do anything with it. I'll just take it off and take it easy. And it is better than it was, but I can feel it right now. How you doing tonight? No, not for the moment, not yet. You're doing well with a question mark? You're not sure? No, I think I'll be all right. I just don't think I'm going to do a really long broadcast unless, this goes away. Missed, but I've read something on it. Are they in the system already? I read some of the information about it on Reddit. I spend way too much time on Reddit. Oh, so they introduced them and then found problems and took them out again? What's left? I don't think you can make radical changes like that and not like have real problems with a game. Now, I know they said it was a test. We're going to try these. If they work, we're going to keep them. If they don't, we'll get rid of them or we'll change them. Okay. And I read, too, that they said don't bother stockpiling them because they're just going to disappear. Oh, did you hear about Twitch and the great bot apocalypse? Twitch deleted 7.5 million bots. Which shows you how many there were. So this is funny. Really, really funny. It'll only be temporary. There's a website called socialblade.com that rates streamers on YouTube and Twitch and probably TikTok and Instagram and everything too. I don't know about the others. But on Twitch, I am rated as a C-, up from being a D, I think. Because he lost 2.6 million followers overnight, Soda Poppin', one of the most popular streamers in the universe, and particularly on Twitch, is now rated as a D-. So I'm a C-, he's a D-. That won't last because he still has 3.5 million followers, but he dropped 2.9 million overnight. XQC dropped 2.3 million. Yeah, it's just a really funny quirk. Actual Kevin pointed that out to me. He said, "You realize you're more successful in Soda Poppin' right now?" No, I did not realize that. No. It's just that there's a lot of, I don't know what all the bots are doing, but a lot of the bots out there, they'll sign up to 50,000 different Twitch streamers and they'll monitor them all. They must have some big ass computer tech there. And I don't know what all their purposes are. Some of them, I think, are probably skimming the chat for all the text, looking for keywords to use in advertising. Possibly checking if people are talking about stuff that was in the ads that were broadcast during a Twitch session. Some of them are probably there just hoping to get free drops. If the channel's doing drops, that sort of thing, right? There's tons of them, and I don't know what all of them do. I'm sure he wasn't having any need to have a follow type arrangement or anything like that. Well, yeah. I have 3 bots in my stream right now, and I invited all of them. One is the Stream Elements bot that's monitoring my chat to a certain degree. One is the Nightbot, which is also monitoring chat. I don't know which one reacts faster or takes over in case of somebody swearing or whatever. And the other one is Own 3D because I use some of their overlays. Normally, if I have, I only have you on right now as a user, just you and me. Normally, if I had, in the past, if I had, say, 10 users watching me, I would have, now I have 2 more. Hello, folks. Normally, I would have, say, 10 to 15 bots as well. That's why I wrote that Node.js script that I run that identifies who's a bot and who's a person, right? And, I mean, I have to go and update it by looking up names and stuff like that from time to time. So it's not entirely accurate, but where are we here? Oh, there should be one of those just down here. Anyway, just Kevin called it the great bot apocalypse, and I like that phrase. So I'm gonna be pushing that one too. But 7.5 million Twitch bots gone. Now, oh, we have that one, rats. The big ramification for that one for me is, think about all these people that have been paying money for ads, only to discover that 7.5 million potentially of the viewers that saw those ads actually didn't exist. They're just a bot. That's got to be pissing some people off, I'm sure. Anyway, did you play with those new potions that they've taken out? I mean, I presume they're going to rework them and consider re-adding them. Okay. I was assuming they were going to still be here, so I would find out about them from somebody. I'm sure they do. I'm really sure they do. Hello, actual Kevin. It's a pretty dramatic thing. Okay. Okay. Well, that's fine, though. They got a response, right? There we are. People running around. And there we go. I'm not killing them. I'm doing fine. How are you, Gunman Tony? Here, all of you have some applause for showing up. Oh, my applause didn't play. There we go. Yeah, I hope you are. Actual Kevin has done some broadcasts for the first time in a long time with this brand new setup, so that's awesome. I think I'm about to get ganked here when I uncover, because those guys probably haven't gone all that far away, right? We'll find out. I want my participation award. Well, like I said, I don't know if you heard that. Oh, I've got 4 bots on now. So I've got one of the standard ones that wasn't here, wasn't invited. There we go. I've done my bit for Albion. I will send you my script. A conservative guess would probably be that about half the people that you see listed, maybe a third of the people that you see listed might be bots, but not all of the bots get listed. It's really kind of confusing. Like if you're looking at Twitch stats in OBS or something like that, right now it says I have 6 viewers and includes me as a viewer. And there's actually 4 people out there and 4 bots, 3 of which I've invited. So no way do those numbers add up at all. We'll just go due north. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Originally, I was really kind of concerned with what was going on and everything. I don't think it's a big deal. I think most of them didn't do anything. Except possibly... Oh, I'm going to have to rebuff. Anybody in sight? No, nobody here but us stealthers, right? So they'll see me right away. Change direction. Buff. Buff. That thing. Re-stealth. Wait for all the effects to fade and go back to the way I was going. The only thing that I could think would be a problem is that Twitch doesn't know who's a bot and who isn't. Not all of them. They know some of them, but not all of them. And I've been able to confirm that by seeing what they report as viewers and then what my system is reporting. So if, for instance, somebody was to come on and drop 10 subscriptions, it's entirely possible that something that is apparently actually a bot, it's not a person out there watching 40,000 different Twitch sessions at the same time on their computer, could get a free subscription, which is a wasted benefit because they're randomized and it'd be better if they went to people. But if Twitch doesn't know who's who, then it could go wasted. Same thing as if I had drops. I could be dropping stuff and it could be being awarded to somebody who, according to Twitch, is an account with a person behind it. But if you go look on twitchinsights.net/bots, you'll discover that they're logged into 31,000 accounts at the moment. So they're a bot. So that's the only reason I can think would be a problem, is that sort of thing. And possibly people trying to skim the chat to see if they can get some information out of it, whatever it might be. Okay, if Scribe Aldous goes on, she can say, I'm going to donate 5 subs, and they go randomly to people. If there's a bot, like, let's say I have a bot called Electrical On Board. Actually, it's electrical longboard. That's a bot, confirmed. It's monitoring my stream right now. But if Twitch doesn't know that electrical longboard is a bot, then when Scribe Aldous drops some free subs, one of them could go to electrical longboard. It doesn't matter to Twitch because they still get half the money. I still get half the money, but one of my viewers didn't get a free sub. A bot did. That is annoying to me. And I can't confirm what Twitch is recognizing as viewers. Actually, I guess I can. I can look up here and see what it says here. It shows electrical longboard as a user. And it says it also sees Nightbot and Owned 3D as users. So it only shows Stream Elements as a moderator right now. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. From my point of view, it doesn't make any difference. I get subs. Cool. No, I'm not talking about bots buying subs. I'm talking about them if somebody donates. I mean, Scribe Aldous has done that a couple of times. I can't remember who. 2 of my users have done that. Donated to somebody or something, right? At least 2. Very generous, and I really appreciate it. It doesn't change anything from my point of view, but if somebody's going to get a sub, I hope that it's going to be a person who might come back. Not a bot that doesn't get any benefit from it. Most of those bots are not actually watching the video. They're just monitoring the chat, right? They're like IRC bots, just reading the chat transcripts. So they're going to be limited as to what data they can pull. They can probably pull the names, the Twitch usernames of the people in the chat and the text and actions that take place. No, it doesn't. The only difference, actual Kevin, that it makes is, let's say you're some random user who comes to my stream and somebody gives away a sub and that sub goes to Electrical Longboard instead of to you. You're a person. I'd want you to get the sub, right? I don't care about Electrical Longboard. I don't know what it's doing. So that's the only difference there. Otherwise, I think they're pretty harmless. I haven't heard about anything nefarious. And some of them, like Commander Root, you can go to a webpage and say, go away, and it will unsubscribe from you. Somebody might be. We don't know. I mean, maybe it's an advertising... maybe it's an advertising bot that's just looking for certain keywords. Are people talking about Nikes? We just ran a pile of ads. Are they talking about Nikes? No? Okay, delete all that. Who knows? Yeah, that's probably it. That's what I mean. I mean, I was thinking earlier today, somebody runs some ads on Twitch, and... Sorry. Somebody runs some ads on Twitch. It may be that they then go in and run one of these bots to monitor the channels and see if people are mentioning the thing that was in the ad, or if people are ignoring it. And then they can also match that to people clicking on the ads for follow through on that sort of thing and stuff like that. I don't know. I know that Social Blade has a bot or 2 or 10 or whatever that goes around and analyzes all of the channels. Devin Nash has one. And I don't know what their names are, so I don't want to just ban them without, worry about banning all of them. Right. Well, ask him what the Twitter bot's name is. Maybe there's a bot in Twitch that's working for Twitter. But yeah, all that stuff gets overly analyzed. And as far as what you were saying, PNA, the people with the paranoid schizophrenia, they don't need to have that. If it's on the internet, somebody is analyzing the crap out of it to try and turn a dime. Absolutely. I'm sure if they could collect it, somebody out there would want to collect what files we delete on our desktop. Just so they could sort of do some sort of analysis of that and try and figure out how to make something more appealing to us or something. Who knows? Yeah, sure. Yep. Sure. One of those data representations where the more important or the more commonly referenced terms are bigger, whatever they call those things. Text cloud or something like that. Just an attempt to tell you something. Yep, you and millions of other people. And evidently, up until recently, 7.5 million bots. Because don't forget, the bots don't know who other bots are, right? They all have strange names. So, right, we have Commander Root. That's the biggest bot. Is currently monitoring me. And if I wanted to, there's a command I can issue that would tell Commander Root to go away, and they would go away. Oh, we have some other people out there. Hello, folks. It's very quiet on the frontier right now, I'll tell you. Of course, I should check where the task is. Because the last one ended, I think. Oh, bloody Aelin Vannon. Fine, I'll go to Aelin Vannon. I don't like Aelin Vannon. Send me to Bloodmere. Thank you, Tragar. Yeah, so I don't think it's a big deal. Originally, I was worried about what was happening there, and I wanted to understand. Mostly, I was curious. I wanted to understand what was going on. And so I wrote my second Node.js bot there just to monitor Twitch. Yep, I'm sure that's what a lot of it is. And there's multiple companies doing it, so there's multiple bots out there. And you can probably only run X amount of monitoring on your bot for so many channels before you have to have another computer and another username, and away you go. I'm not quite sure how all that works. I haven't tried writing one to analyze chat. But you can bet somebody's doing that, though, yeah. Oh, I am doing things entirely forgetfully here. I forgot to repoison. Can't have that. Wouldn't want to greet one of our realm guests without the appropriate poisons. There. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think the biggest number I've seen was Commander Root there that was following 51,000 channels. Twitch, of course, knows about that one. They didn't get rid of all the bots. I think they got rid of all the bots that didn't follow Twitch's guidelines and say, hey, you have to register and tell us that you're a bot. Like my chat bot that I wrote is... logically enough, called TFG bot. And I went and registered it and, did all the stuff that Twitch asks you to do when you want to create a bot. I'm only monitoring my own channel, and I'm only doing it manually. I'm not having it run itself all the time and you know, everything else like that. And my other one isn't a chat bot at all. It's just looking at who's logged in and saying, are they on this list of, ooh, hey, an enemy, perhaps. Oh, somebody got popped there by Akileo. Who's winning there, Akileo or Mr. Veilwalker? Mr. Veilwalker. Not getting them. That did not work for whatever reason. Because I'm too just... Ah! What did you do to it? Oh. I hate to say it, but do you know how long it's been since I've hooked up a military antenna? A long time. Hello, Fugu. How you doing? Welcome back. What are you hooing? What are you worn out about? Oh, you were streaming earlier, were you? Was that you? I was busy, but I saw a message flash up that somebody was on. Oh, you've been recording. Well, geez, yeah. That's going to be tiring, I'm sure. No. Oh, thank you. But enemies are here. So we'll go down below the hill or something. No, AK, that was my detachment, so it was my job to put the antenna up there to make sure it was right. So I would go down and disconnect the, it's called a Pressel switch, the on-off switch for talking. I would go and disconnect that, stick it in my pocket, and go upstairs and put the antenna on there, because our radio station was 10,000 watts, and I could fire somebody 30 feet off a truck if somebody broadcast while you were touching the antenna. That happened to one guy in my unit after I got out, and it killed him. And then I would go back down and screw the Pressel switch back into its connection, and we would be good. I did not want to ride that lightning. God, no. We could send a radio signal about 3,500 miles. Which is pretty amazing for the back of a truck, right? This is normally one of the best ways to find a lurricane. When you least want to find a lurricane. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know him all that well, but he was a guy in my unit. Yep. Yeah, it was for a military HF radio. So yeah. Yeah. If somebody hit the on switch, like they were talking or sending Morse code or something like that, when somebody was holding the antenna and standing on top of the truck, it's a metal truck, then yeah, the 10,000 watts, it could just blow you 30 feet off the truck. Never seen it, thank God, but it did happen apparently. Oh yeah, severe. 10,000 watts. I don't remember how many amps. Tons. Yeah. Now, normally, somebody would come running along here. Well, actually, about 6 people would come running along here, but maybe 1. Yeah, probably. I just knew that I had a couple of guys working for me who were... Well, one was okay. The other guy was moderately clever. So I just didn't want to take a chance. It's not like it's a big thing. You just disconnect the thing, stuff it in your pocket, climb up on top of the truck, and screw in an antenna. It takes like 2 minutes to do it, including climbing up the truck, probably 3 minutes. And then you're fine. You just go back down, hook in the switch, and away you go. What the hell happened there? Okay, we'll go to another one. What the hell? I'll find somebody somewhere, or I'll suicide out. Wrong map. Map. That way. Yeah, I remember being on exercise in Alberta, I think. And we ended up with somebody talking on our network. And we were ordering them to get off our network because it was a military network and everything else. And they were telling us they couldn't change how they were broadcasting or whatever. And we finally determined that it was a taxi in Florida. And he was on his permitted frequencies and everything, but hitting the ionosphere can change the frequency of your radio signal. And that put him down into our military range or something bizarre like that. Anyway, it was a funny conversation. Did I see the silly thing you built today? No, I did not. I was busy this afternoon. No, they cannot. Well, no, they can. They can fall. They don't fly. No. We're talking No Man's Sky here. Those probably do much better. Oh, we want to go that way. I don't need that. Well, I do need that, but I won't need it very shortly. Up there we are. Yeah, so... Oh, man. I have sort of incipient carpal tunnel here. It's not quite that bad, but I can really feel it down the top of my right arm. So I'm trying to mouse very carefully, but it might end up cutting this broadcast a bit short, too. I wanted to get better. I didn't broadcast on Tuesday at all, because I figured that that's my least watched one. I'd give it a break and then come back on Thursday. Hello, Sea Shadow 349. CS Shadow. It's not that I'm going for solo kills, it's that I'm a Twitch streamer. So I'm soloing mostly because that way I can do something like this, just stop and talk. If I was grouped up, then I would be a very bad group player because sometimes I lose track of what I'm doing entirely because I'm busy reading chat at the same time. So As a result, pretty much all my characters are soloed. Unless, you know, unless I'm leveling something up and there's somebody in the chat that wants to come join me or something like that. That's happened before. But mostly I solo. Not because I want the solo kills, although that's nice too, but just because I don't think that I'm going to be very good in a group with anybody when I'm half distracted by twitching and reading chat and talking to people and stuff. Anyway, how you doing tonight? A thumb mouse. You'll have to send me a pic. Okay. There was something I saw ads for called a moon mouse, which was like a vertical mouse where you held your hand. Where's my hand? Where you held your hand like this. Now that seems pretty natural. But I went and looked for some reviews, and a lot of people figured the company doesn't exist at all. I'm just running around seeing if I can kill people, and probably not playing all that well. I don't know if it'd be worth joining me. You're welcome to if you want to, but I'm mostly just trying to get from realm rank 5L1 to 5L2 by participating in the tasks. Okay, that might be a little hard to get used to. I'm very used to a mouse. And the one I have it's an okay Logitech. It's a little small for my hands. Oh, damn. I'm ready to leave here now, so I was ready to jump on a fight, and if I lose, well, I lose. But that isn't going to happen, I guess. Oh, no, there's a bunch of cooperative people that could kill me, but they're... That's not going to be a fun fight, though. That's just going to be a massacre. Let's see if we can head where we pointed there. Sure. Emin Macha. We'll go down to the Hib side and see if anybody's coming across the bridge. It's up to you. If you want to play a mini, sure. No problem. Or an infiltrator. Doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm just cruising around from task spot to task spot to see if I can find any fights. At this hour, there's usually not that many people on, unfortunately. It's a terrible time to stream. There's 7 Albs, 12 Mids, and 13 Hibs on the frontier as stealthers right now. 7. I mean, that's 7 on my side. So, okay, there's 25 potential targets as stealthers. The most likely people that I'm going to end up fighting. I don't know what this is. Probably has a name on it somewhere. Just says Logitech. I have the number written down somewhere because I had to find drivers for it. Yeah, well, it might just be that it's because I've been streaming so much, right? And when I'm not streaming, I'm playing games. And when I'm not playing games, I'm reading on Reddit or on my Mac, creating a font or reading about languages or whatever, right? Too much computing is probably what it is. There are a total of 53 mids and 48 hibs on right now. Oh, right. Oh, more people out there. Hello, folks. I realized I forgot to... Normally when I start up, I run an ad break before anybody shows up so that there's like 25 or 30 minutes of ad-free, no pre-rolls or whatever, and I forgot to do that. So if you had to watch ads when you showed up here, I'm sorry. I could have spared you that joy and didn't. Right, okay. Doesn't it show it here? No. Doesn't matter? Sure. Yeah. My name is Chelsie. Chelsie. Actually. My name, there. So if you want to send to me, I'll invite you. Or you can invite me, I don't care. Either way. Like I said, I'm basically out here just trying to, by hook or by crook, get into some good fights if I can't, but if I can, but if not, I'll cheese my way up to a new realm rank, however I can do it, just by going to each of the zones and doing a thing so I get credit for it. Not showing you as online. Oh, cool. Well, now that depends. I never even thought about it. Are you playing on live? Yes? Or are you playing on Phoenix? I'm on Phoenix. That would be why you didn't show. They haven't made arrangements for sort of cross-realm, cross-realm. No, it's just really funny. I never even thought about it. That's hilarious. Well, thank you for the offer anyway. You should come try Phoenix. I should go try live again. I do have characters on live. I haven't played some of them in like 15 years, but I do have them. Yeah, I'm on Phoenix. That's funny. That's really funny. Sorry for the periodic groans. It's, I don't know, where's my camera? There. It's bugging me from here all the way down to here and a little bit on the top of my hand. And this doesn't bode well if I don't keep putting anti-inflammatories on it and taking it a little easy. So 17 minutes until Ale and Vanden is done. Okay. Yeah, not so much. If you had ever known me in high school, you that would be the last thing you'd say. I was absolutely god-awful at baseball. I preferred things like football and rugby, where you could basically just plow into people or grab a much larger ball. Of course, my high school had no teams of any sort. Well, my eyes don't quite line up perfectly. I have terrible depth perception. So I was absolutely an expert at getting struck out. Not so good at actually hitting the ball. when I was a wee lad, i.e. when I was born cross-eyed, and they had to do surgery to straighten my eye out, and it didn't quite work. Now, the only time I can catch a ball like that is when it's coming straight at my head, and then I can line up and grab it. But otherwise, I've got very little idea of where it's going to be in front of me. I'm terrible at sports that way. But like I said, I liked football. We just didn't have a high school football team. We just played it in PE. And I liked it when we tried rugby and things like that. Although, strangely enough, I guess because you only really use one eye, it didn't bother me at all when I was... I got rewards for that early. Good. Still not over the mark, but hey, maybe I can find a fight. Didn't bother me at all when I was shooting on the range and stuff in the military. No problem at all. It was actually a pretty good shot. But, you know, if you're looking through a sight line, like sight, or even just lining up posts, you're doing it with one eye, so maybe it wasn't much of a factor. Your efforts in the realm war haven't gone unnoticed. You get 1 realm point. Thank you for that. I'll treasure it. I know I got other realm points too. I got 600 for participation, but then 1 more for some reason. No idea. So since we got you here, the SS, what's the action on Live like right now? Is there many people there? Is the population up? Is it mostly only certain time zones? I started playing the game on day 1 and I played for like 5 years, but when I came back, people said, no, you should come to Phoenix. So I never really checked out all of my characters over there again. Yeah. It's pretty good here, but it's pretty good in the afternoon because that's the evening for the folks in Europe. For some other reason, there aren't as many North American-based players playing on Phoenix, which I don't understand at all. Right. Well, I normally stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I didn't stream on Tuesday because of taking it easy for this injury. But that's the first time I've missed not streaming on any of on all of those days every week since Christmas. That was completely botched. Oh, buffs are down too. I'm going to lose this one. Badly. Yeah. My bad for talking. Oh, that's cool. When I played on Percival, Shemog, I'll remember Shemog. And next time I'll come back with some buffs. Chatting too much. When I played on Percival Midgard, for the longest time, our highest realm ranked player was a Thane. And she was really good. I grouped with her a couple of times, just like a pair of us. I don't know why she let me do that, but that was fine. And Perfect timing on everything. Really, really, really good. It's quite impressive. Come on. And now we have to repoison, which I'll remember to do this time. And I did go through all 3 of them, which is good. Yeah, well, you know, if you got the realm rank 7, you didn't just, you know, get there 1 realm point at a time. I'm sure you've figured out how to play the class. I do not. Do I not? I might have a level 18 Thane. I can't remember. Oh, channel break while I go and put on some more coffee. Just a sec here. Okay, so there is new coffee on the way, at least. Richard Mortis. We'll bump those up again. And maybe, what the hell, stealth. Yes, I know, Richard. People are going to think that's you. On your necro. Do you even have a necro? And if you don't have a necro, why don't you have a necro? I know, 'cause Albion. Well, now, see, we should We should steal a page from the Power Rangers there, and have an all necro group. Not stealthed, of course, you know, but I can imagine that being a little unfun to run into. As opposed to, say, other thematic RVR groups. The all-healer group wouldn't be all that threatening seeming, I'm sure. Where is that ticket? Send me to friggin' Hibernia. Well, see, I never played the Infiltrator on live, but I absolutely love it here. I had a Shadowblade. I never got all the way to 50 on live, but I really liked the Stealther as an idea. I had a Hunter at 50. Here I have a Ranger at 50, and when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to play on the Alb side, I decided to, yeah, you did. It's all right. P-H-O-E-N-I-X. I decided to try Infiltrator. Well, you gods, you got points for everything. It's great. No, I really like it. I'm not high realm rank, so I'm spec'd 38 stealth, 41 thrust, only 21 crit strike, 50 dual wield, and 36 in venom. And I could probably redo that spec, but I'd have to go get a respec stone or something like that, and I don't have the money, quite frankly. Which is why I now have a Necro that I'm supposed to be playing to farm with, but have not actually been playing to farm with. I also really like Necromancer now. Didn't think I'd like that either. And I have a Minstrel, and part of the Necro's job is going to be to raise the money to template the Minstrel. No, I am not begging. I have 409 gold here. I have, I'm using crafted weapons, because that's how I built my template on the cheap here. So I have 3 pairs of them, 2 here, and 2 in the second pouch. And there's a little duplication of the poisons for greater infectious serum, but I have 3 different loadouts for that. So I have 2 macros here for swapping weapons. First set and second set. Well, actually, second set. Third set, rather. And you actually just drag the poison onto the weapon. I don't know if you can macro that otherwise. You should come try it here, man. You can level up pretty quickly. There's a lot of quality of life things here for faster leveling. I'm going to go underneath there. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. No, here it's a crafted item, the poison. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to get more of them at some point soon. Which means I need to play the Necro, farming. It's like archery here. You actually have the quiver and you're selecting your arrow type to shoot, rather than the magic arrow spell that was on live the last time I was there. I didn't like that with my hunter. This is the game as of patch 1.65 with... Hello, Love Muffins 2. How you doing? 1.65 with a bunch of quality of life things. Like, to go from... Well, actually, to go on my Necromancer, to go from 49 to 50, I just went and bought a pile of items for, I don't know, 800 gold or something like that, and went and turned them into an NPC, and boom, I went up a level because I didn't want to grind that level. That's kind of cheesing it too, but whatever. I didn't miss anything, I'm sure. So the quality of life improvements that are here is really quite nice. I've forgotten what live is like. I've got, I don't know, 8 level 50s on live or something. They're all in Midgard, but I've forgotten what it's like over there. Pretty much entirely now, I think. Okay, I'm going to do a stupid thing. This won't be new to anybody who's watched me before, of course. I'm going to go and say stealth out here in the middle of the river for a second while I go grab my coffee, because I really need my coffee and my whiskey. I'll be back in just a sec, real quick. And hello to Love Muffins. Nice to see you again. Have some welcoming applause. Oh, hey, and I didn't die. That's always a bonus. And I got round point. And I'm still not over the 5 L2 mark. Wouldn't you know it? But now I have coffee. And as long as it doesn't get in the way of my mouse... Maybe that's the answer to having, like, incipient carpal tunnel, is just to get plastered. What classes are there here? All of them that are on live except for Heretic, Valkyrie, Vampire, and there's at least one other, I'm pretty sure. Banshee. But otherwise, I think all those classes exist. Right. Thank you, Ferp2. And hello again, Ferp2. My most recent follower there, who followed me, I think, on Sunday night about 5 minutes before I logged off. Oh, no Mauler. Right. Yeah. So those are missing.
CS Shadow 349 is now a follower.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Welcome to the shield wall, which is my metaphor. Trying to be thematic and all that, you know. Warlock. Yes, no Warlock. Okay, so those. Yeah, I tried Warlock on live and I didn't like it. And I tried Vampire and I absolutely loved it. There's an exception. I have a 50 Vampire on live. But unless I subscribe, I can't play them. So I didn't want to shell money out for that. I would like to meet Shamog again. I would like to go down below the bridge or out of the way or something like that. That'll have to do. And redo those. Re-stealth. And now foolishly go across the bridge. I know people liked Warlock. I didn't like it, and I don't remember why. I probably love it now. But we don't have it here, so that's okay. If you saw my channel break thing there, I have way too many characters already, and there's going to be more coming. I know there is. So, the Brady Bunch credits are only going to get worse. No, I don't think it will. If they brought one of those classes back that they had well, I suppose if they brought them all back, that would work. They'd just have to change them so that they didn't disrupt everything. But if they just brought one back, then people would be screaming for their particular favorite to be returned as well. And that would probably unleash a whole Pandora's box of requests to add this or that, or make this different, or make that different, or whatever. And I can see them not wanting to open that box. Necro seems to work fine, but I never played one on live, so I haven't really got a comparison. Has anybody that's here played a Necro on both? PNA, did you? PNA seems to know every class. Right. Well, the Necro actually works quite well. It doesn't seem to be all that good in RVR. Maybe if you're high realm rank, but you got to get there first. It's based on pet. Yeah. Not the same as a pet caster, no. Your shade can cast some spells, like the life tap and things like that, but almost everything else is pet based. And I think Necro's an amazing amount of fun. I thought it was going to be rather boring, but I quite like it now that I played with it a bit. Oh, so you know Ferp too, then? You mean on live you become the pet? There's no shade? Yeah. Say what? Wow. Oh, there's Maddie. Yes, also hi. You've played both a lot then, Maddie? And if so, do you think it's better on live than it is here? Yeah? I saw you. That Shamog? You getting healed there? Cyberpunk. Okay, fine. You can play at that. Ack. Yeah, it must have been. I mean, I could accept one or two jumps in the health, but that was a lot of it. In other words, if they didn't have somebody healing them, I would have kicked their butt. Probably. That said, maybe I need a third source of healing. Necros can't power tap anymore, but they can be super situationally powerful on live. The whole essence of Necro is that you can tap the power. That's a different class. Oh, weird. That's a whole different class then. No, I'll take this. I finally figured this one out. Get off my lawn! That just sounds wrong. No, that just sounds... That's just all wrong. Besides which, like I said, I finally figured it out here, more or less. That would be like playing a whole new class all over again. Learning a whole new class. I knew what I meant, even if I didn't actually use English. Okay, I know when they first came out, people were saying that they were, like, totally overpowered and everything else like that. It doesn't seem overpowered to me. My Necro isn't high realm rank. He's, like, 2 point something. But, the only time that he had no problem at all was when nobody was whacking on him, when they ignored him, basically. Then, yeah, I can life tap people and get into a fight, and I could maybe even win one if I got enough range on somebody, or they were confused, or really a bad player. But otherwise, I'm not overpowered. I am trying to play the Necro to get the reward points for the various tasks. Oh, that's another thing, CS. We have, well, here, I'll bring it up. /task realm brings up this. Right now, the competition is to dominate Hadrian's Wall. So if you go to Hadrian's Wall and get into a fight or change one of the flags on 3 positions that are in that zone when it's the task zone, you will get 600 realm points just for that. Of course, you'll also get whatever realm points for, you know, keep ownership in your guild and fights and everything else. But you'll get a 600 point bonus for that. And those tasks are constantly rotating. So I don't remember the order, but it'll go from like Hadrian's Wall to Eilenvanen to Emmenmacha to my brain. To this friggin' zone. I give up. And then back again. And they just keep going around and around and around. They'll go from the outermost zones on each of those in Eilenvanen to the inner ones here in the center. And then back again. And yeah, thank you. Odin's Gate, yes. Insufficient coffee and operator. So somebody who's low realm rank here can actually just run with the Zerg to each of these places and actually get up enough realm rank that if they wanted to go solo, if their class was one that was suited to that, they can. Whereas on live, my experience was I show up on my hunter who is, I don't know, realm rank 5.8 or something like that. I can't remember. And everybody I met was realm rank 9 to 12, somewhere in there. And I got trashed continuously. So I think for starting a new character or a new player showing up in this game, this is a more friendly place. Now, that said, what's really, really dangerous is not the fact that somebody is high realm rank, although that's obviously giving them all the tools, but it's that some people have been playing the same class for 20 years. They kind of know everything about it at that point, and they just got to keep up with changes. And I would imagine if you took somebody who was used to playing a realm rank 12 Shadowblade and stuck them on a realm rank 4 Shadowblade, they would do a lot more with what they had for tools because they know where it's headed. They know what they need, and they know what's possible, and they've got all that practice. And according to PNA, yeah, they were not well received. I missed that entirely. Which is just fine by me. I thought from the sound of things that they were not going to be something that worked anyway. Oh, well, then I took a break at exactly the right time. Was it really that bad? Oh, I got more people out there. Hello, folks. Thanks for coming by. Right. Yep. Yep, sure. That's exactly the problem with TOA. When they came out with Trials of Atlantis, they were promising us, oh no, it will not affect RVR at all. It will be a bunch of PvE stuff you can do and enjoy, and you'll get some nice loot there that you can use if you want, but it won't be necessary for PvP-oriented players to go do Trials of Atlantis because it won't make any difference. And then, boom, Trials of Atlantis comes out and there's artifacts and everybody has to get artifacts because the artifacts are better than the stuff that was dropping anywhere else or any of the epic stuff and things like that. And there we go. With a whimper, not a bang, R5L2. So, yeah. Thank you, yes. It's only 5L2. Realm rank 6 will be a greater achievement. But it does make me wonder what I have, how many points I have. Just 2 points there now. Okay, so I got to go for a ways before I buy another skill. I don't think we have those special abilities. Yeah. Your skill is that you have 5 realm ranks worth of points. Pride. Yes. As in pride goeth before a fall, in my case. Yes, right. Yes. Yeah, you don't get your 16.5 clamp to 16.2 or whatever. Which is good and has no doubt helped. I don't think there's anybody around here except us Alps. Which is disappointing. How many of us non-Alps are there stealthing running around? There is a grand total of 23 other stealther players on right now. 13 Alps, who don't count, because I'm one of them. 13 mids and 10 hibs. That's kind of lame. It's only 156 total on the frontier. That was not my Eddie Izzard impression. I don't really have an Eddie Izzard impression. I said that one thing and you thought it was perfect. So, I mean, maybe I did a good job. I don't even remember what it was. You have a flag? Something like that. But, and I like Eddie Izzard. But I don't really do impressions worth a damn. I used to think I could do impressions worth a damn, but I can't. Not really. See, these are all, disappointingly, these are all albs. How can that be fun? Oh well. Let's go run around Midgard or something. Man, I can't even remember any of Eddie Izzard's lines that I liked. There was something about cake. Cake or death? I'll take cake then. But I can't remember the whole skit. And I used to remember a lot of it. Quite an amazing man, actually. He wanted to raise money for cancer research or something like that, so he decided to get people to sponsor him while he ran marathons, and he ran like 200 marathons in a row. There you go. Okay. How do you join on Phoenix? You go to this URL. I think it's Play Phoenix. Oh, playphoenix.online. That URL, I believe. And basically what they're going to tell you to do is download the client from Live and then stick their patcher in it. What I would do would be to download the client from Live and stick it in a different folder like DAOC 2 or something like that and use that one for Phoenix because you are playing on Live. If you're going to give up on playing on Live, then you know, that's fine. You could just stick the patcher in there. But otherwise, whenever you want to play on Live, it would repatch every time. Whenever you want to play on Phoenix, it would repatch every time. It would be painful. So I would stick a copy of the client in a different folder and run it from there. Put a separate desktop shortcut and everything. And basically, it's the downloaded client from Broadsword, from Live, with Phoenix Launcher in it, which you just drop in the same folder as Dark Age of Camelot.exe, or whatever the executable is. And you run that. And then it'll give you username and password, and there's a checkbox to say, you know, keep that data. And then you pick one of the login servers. It doesn't matter which one, but probably pick the one that's closest to you. So there's I use the San Francisco one. There's one on the East Coast in North America, and then there's some in Europe. And apparently you can log in through any of them. It doesn't really matter. It's probably just how much lag there is between there and then coming back to the game or something, if it even matters that way. You know, I must have run across this bridge before. Don't remember it, though. Oh, I am missing something. We won't go across that bridge because that would be too obvious now. Come at it from behind. Yes, it's free. Yep. I believe there is somewhere where you can go and donate some money towards paying for the cost of operating the server, but that's voluntary. If you can't afford it or you don't want to, you don't. And they're not turning any profit on it. That's a key point with any of these private shards. They can't make any money. Right, there you go. So somebody out there is paying for the cost of running the server, and people are donating some money to help them do that. And that's about it. You don't have to pay a dime. And I'm poor myself, so I have paid a dime. See, I come over here to Midgard, and even there, the only person I see is another alb. I almost streamed this afternoon. I thought I should try this in the afternoon, and Thursday would be a good time to do it. So next Thursday, I might try streaming in the afternoon and see what the population's like, because it'll be much better. Probably 10 times as deadly, too, but, you know. So you're going to come over and give this a try, CS Shadow? If so, welcome to Phoenix. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I mean, there is no BG right now, so cool, CS. Yeah, I have retrained my Necros RAs so that I think the only RAs I have are Purge 1 and Volcanic Pillar 2. With that specific idea and plan in mind. Go run with the Zerg, pick somebody central to the enemy in Volcanic Pillar. Wait 15 minutes, repeat. Yeah. I don't know how high realm rank a Necro needs to get before they could actually be effective solo in RVR. It's probably pretty high. So that might be a long-term project to look at down the road. In the meantime, he was supposed to just be a farmer. But I don't think I actually need any RA skills to farm on a Necro. So I could stay with that spec and go farm RPs every once in a while. And, you know, that's all she wrote. The only problem with farming... Yeah, I'm sure. The only problem with Necro for farming is it's boring as hell. I know it's not going to be any better on anybody else, but it's dull. Dull, 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 dull. I'll stop whining and have some whiskey. Oh, hey. Oh, many people. Okay. Make a second DAOC folder. That's what I would do. You could probably copy your current DAOC folder over to a second one. But otherwise, download the client into a second folder to keep your current one intact. So, when I did this before, I had DAOC, well, Dark Age of Camelot under Electronic Arts on my hard drive, and then I had Dark Age of Camelot 2. Okay, here. I'll slip out in the water here. And somebody in the audience can correct me if I'm wrong. But Phoenix uses the client from live. No, don't be sorry. It's fine. It's easy to screw something up or not understand something, and it's not a straightforward process. But Phoenix uses the client from live. But they patch it to be completely different. So you currently have Dark Age of Camelot for live installed in a folder on your hard drive. Under C, Windows, the program files 32-bit or something like that. You will find an EA folder, and then inside that you'll find Dark Age of Camelot. What you want to do is have a second copy of Dark Age of Camelot on your system. So go back to Dark Age of Camelot, download the free client, and when it says it's going to install it to a different folder. Dark Age of Camelot 2, or DAOC 2, or Phoenix, whatever you want to call it. Install it there. Then you go to playphoenix.online and you download their loader, and you stick it in the folder you just created with the second copy of Dark Age of Camelot in it. Or do it that way. Yep. Depends on how much hard drive room you've got, because live is going to have a lot of stuff on it that you wouldn't necessarily need. But yes, you could do that. Copy your live folder over. And then stick the Phoenix client in the second location. The new folder that you just copied everything to. So the Phoenix client is going to load up, and then it will patch from Phoenix instead of from live this version of the game. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah. That's kind of annoying as a process. Yeah, okay. Why don't you tell us when you've done each of these things? The easiest way actually would be, like PNA said, to go into your file explorer and copy the current folder to a new folder. Make a new folder, copy everything from the other one over to the new one. When you've done that, tell us. And I will continue to float around here, not finding any enemies. As always. We are at 1624 in Hadrian's Wall. I should just go to Hadrian's Wall and die there, shouldn't I? Because there's nobody here. Then yeah, there's a step there where you have to downgrade it and then patch it again, and that's fine. Also, when you sign up for Play Phoenix, where are we going? We are going to Benno. They will ask you to create a username and password for the Phoenix forums. That is your username and password for playing the game, too. All of which makes it sound very involved, and it is a little complex, I admit. I wish they could smooth it out a bit, but the end result will be when you want to start it up, you click on an icon on your desktop and it starts the game up. You select the login server that you want, click OK, and boom, you're logged in. Game starts up. No? They don't do anything? Okay. I was about to curse how many albs there are here, and then I realized I've come back to Albland, so that really shouldn't be a surprise. Okay. It should be at C:, am I doing that right? C:/ Windows / program files. No, I better look it up. Just a sec here. See. Program x86 Electronic Arts Dark Age of Camelot. Right. So C:/ program files x86 / Electronic Arts / Dark Age of Camelot. That's where it should be. Windows 7. Yep, that's true too. Right click on your current icon and go to location. That would be an enemy. I should pay attention to enemies typically. Or get out of their way. One of the two while I'm busy helping somebody figure it out. Yep, so then when you get to that location that your thing is linked to, go back and you'll be on the DAOC folder. And right click and hit copy to copy Dark Age of Camelot. Then create a new folder, call it DAOC2 or DAOC Phoenix or something like that. Open it up and paste everything in. Or actually when you paste it will make a copy of it, won't it? I think it will. Win 7, wow. I ran Win 7, I've forgotten everything. Yep, true. I'll do the killing and dying. Maybe you can help him figure it out. But I'm always happy to add one more people to the numbers here. That didn't even come out as English. My Englishing poorly is. Always glad to add one more person playing here. There's a lot of other streamers streaming Dark Age here too. Okay, we will close that. So there's me, there's Mallow TV, there's Hasseril, there's Streaming Styles, there's Illuminati. They've all actually been doing it longer than I have here, I think, probably. I'm not sure about Stunning. There was a Valken here. I didn't see any death spam. So there's presumably still a Valken here. Oh, hello folks. I see a few more people out there. Thanks for dropping by. What the hell? Just for variety's sake. Who are you? Felicitas. Change the camera position. Because it can go in multiple positions. At one point I even had it doing a fancy zoom from place to place, but it slowed my computer down too much. I can put that back in though. Right now, this is barely using 3% of my CPU to do 60 frames a second, so... What the hell? Let's look on the map and see, where do I want to go? There's one across the water over there. Would be that way. I think it was. No, it was Reaver Coup. Sorry. Okay. So now on playphoenix.online, there should be a spot to download their client. Download it and then stick it in that DAOC folder that you just copied. And I would rename that folder to something distinct if you haven't already, so you know which one you're looking at, just for future reference. What, named like neighborhoods of Portland? There's two what? Folders or clients? Right, okay. What I know about Portland, I could write on the back of my little fingernail here. I believe you just want the launcher. I could be wrong. Download whatever they tell you to download and stick it in the new DAOC folder. That's for sure. Yeah. And I'm sorry, CS, if you're not particularly computer literate and this is a little overwhelming. It's not like it's my fault that they have an awkward installer, but yeah. Yeah, it puts a couple of files there. One of it, which is the one that launches the game. Nobody hereabouts, and we already own it. Okay, so much for that plan. Now I'm doubting that I redid my poisons, so I'm going to redo my poisons again. I probably waste more poison doing this than I actually use on enemies. And then we want to rebuff when we hit the shore here. Re-stealth. And change course. Zelmo. Okay, so what state are you at now, CS? Oh. Okay, so what is the thing that he runs to downgrade it there, PNA? Do you remember offhand? Phoenix Fixer, right. Oh, man. Wow. Sure. Oh, there's more of you. Wow. Still got a fair amount of bots showing up. Twitch just deleted 7.5 million bots, and there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Still 12 bots here. And right there is... No, it'll give you a new icon. It'll give you a new icon that looks like a couple of... Actually, it's not very well drawn, but it looks kind of like a couple of gold wings for a phoenix. Should give you a new one anyway. You might have to drag that icon shortcut from the folder where it installed to your desktop or something like that. I don't know. Or make a new one. Make a new one, probably. You definitely run a different shortcut to start it up. Yeah, the idea here is that we're giving you a way to be able to play live anytime you want, or play Phoenix anytime you want, without having to repatch all the time. And there's that Phoenix Fixer step. If you were using the same install for this, you'd be running Phoenix Fixer every time you switched from live to Phoenix or back again. Nobody out here. Where's the task? Odin's Gate. Well, that would be part of it then, wouldn't it? Go die in OG. Unless that Norseman is really good and really lucky, and he's not, he wouldn't survive that. Vladimir, thank you very much, kind lady. Give me the damn boat. Excuse me. I continue to advance. I'm now at 255 followers. 21 subscribers, despite what's reported on screen there. That's wrong. And 5,154 total views for this channel. So, thanks, guys. Excuse me. So, keep us appraised there, CS. CSS? No, CS. That seems a little odd. Let me dodge this here. Well, these guys are going to claim it, and then I'll go take it from them when they disappear. No, I was just going to say we should check and see what he's running. I should get a gray cloak and blend right in. Toasted. Okay, so I'm dead. Doesn't matter then. When I go to run my client, well, of course I can't see my, let's see. Yeah, probably, but it shouldn't be that difficult. I can't see my client except on my desktop, and I don't think I can Alt-Tab off this to minimize it to go to my desktop. No. I can't get off the game. It's full screen. If I Alt-Tab out, it stays full screen, unfortunately. I should probably run it in windowed mode. If you go into the new DAOC folder that you created and you run Phoenix Fixer, that should run and patch everything. Then you run phoenix.exe. Yeah, make sure that those files were copied there when you downloaded them. They might all just be sitting in your download folder or something, right? Yes. Wow, excuse me, burping too much. I was expecting a... Nope. I keep saying that I'm going to set up my Discord and get it all organized and things like that. And maybe that ought to be the first thing I do, is set it up and then write some instructions out to augment what's on playphoenix.online. Because it is a little confusing and not everybody is... RVR is dead. I don't know what screen you're watching this on, but here's /U. There are, for stealthers, Frontier level 50 stealthers, there are 11 albs, 17 mids, and 10 hibs. Okay, the stuff that was in that folder would be... Yes, I am supporting the worst time. Proud supporter of the worst time to play Dark Age of Camelot on Phoenix. Sure. I agree. Plus it means that there's... Actually, there's no upside, really. Provided that he copied the files into the same folder. And not the folder into the new folder. Oh yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't broadcast on Tuesday. My arm is threatening to give me a nice case of carpal tunnel or something. I could feel it all down my arm, so I was taking it easy. Hello, Access. Hello, how you doing? Welcome back. That applause is also for Jason Yu and whoever else arrived recently. Of course. But you're all welcome. Okay. Twitch just deleted 7.5 million bots. This indicates how many bots they had. Millions. I was expecting that I would see a lot less bots. But I'm not. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of you real people on here. Twitch thinks there's 10, so they're missing one of them. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 bots that I didn't deliberately plan to have here. This is kind of silly. Oh, really? Well... Okay, if somebody owns Discord and they get offered 10 billion, they're probably going to bite. The one thing that... Okay, I'm not terribly pro Microsoft. Although I like Windows 10 now. But I have years of cursing Microsoft for bad OS design and things like that. The one thing that I would say would be good about them buying... Yeah, but Twitch is not making that much money for Amazon. It's like 1.5% of their revenue or something like that comes from Twitch. If Microsoft bought Discord, the one thing I don't like about Discord is the interface. I find it very sort of confusing. Like it's not well designed in my opinion. And maybe Microsoft would fix that. And annoy all the current Discord users who are completely used to it. Are we now out of the task zone here? Oh, it's Odin's Gate. Right. Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't seen Teams, and I've used Skype and I didn't like it. Microsoft actually seems to... Their strong point to me seems to be somebody else invents things and then they take that design and copy it and improve on that. I'm not sure about the buying of things like that. It might be worth 15 billion. I don't know. I'm not sure what the revenue is, but yeah, well, I haven't used Teams. I'm just not a team player. No, it's actually that I've been unemployed for almost a year. And my last job was in a shop, so I didn't need Teams. Oh, please nobody jump me while I'm running down the road here. That would be appreciated while I rub my arm. Of course, I shouldn't run down the middle of the road because that almost guarantees somebody's going to run over you. Discord is really powerful, and I recognize that, but there's stuff I don't like, and I don't think I've used it enough to quantify why I don't like some things, other than I find the interface is rather confusing. It's hard to tell where you are. And that's probably just my old brain being used to certain UI standards that they're ignoring, which is fine. They don't have to use those standards. But I have a Discord channel. I need to organize it, and one of the things I should do would be then to pin up instructions on how to set up this client, because then I can write them out like that, and I'm used to writing documentation for software and things. It shouldn't be hard to do. And then I can pin all the other little bits that are useful for people as well. And then there's a place for people to go when I'm not online and ask a question, and I just have to get in the habit of checking it, and I can make announcements for when I'm not, going to be broadcasting, or when I'm doing an extra broadcast or anything like that. It's all very useful stuff. And it's one of the next stages supposed to be done in order to build a community. By the way, if you didn't know it, you're a community. Okay. If I recall correctly, the instructions I have aren't all that bad, but maybe we misexplained something. It's difficult when you can't see what the person's setup is. Oh, well, okay, yes. It's only 10:52 for me. So, you must be, Central Time or Mountain Time or something? I'm on Pacific Coast. Texas. Okay. Hopefully you're over your, what was it, flooding? Or freezing? When all the power went out. Freezing. Hopefully that's done. Yeah. Good. Thanks for dropping by, man. I'll see you next time, hopefully. No problem. Have a good night. Oh, 1, 2, 3, possibly people I don't recognize. Hello. Oh, okay. You're giving up, but you're staying. Okay. I thought based on what you said, oh, it's 1 in the morning. I'm going to go crash, which I would understand. Except, of course, I've had like loads of coffee. Yep, sure, gotcha. Figured that out. I'm just slow. To borrow from my friend Actual Kevin, I'm slow, but my work is poor. I think you can actually buy a mug with that on his. Oh yeah, merch is another thing I gotta set up. I actually have some on Redbubble, but it's really hard to find. Well, it all depends on whether or not you got to get up for work or school or something like that tomorrow morning. Or whether the nature of my entertaining broadcast is so riveting, you have to stay tuned. Probably not. No work. Oh, well. Hopefully that's because you have tomorrow off, not because you have no work and need it. But, yes, go grab coffee then. I'm afraid I'm rather addicted to coffee with cheap scotch in it, which may or may not affect my gameplay. We're not talking about a lot of booze here. What does radically affect my gameplay is not having any enemies to fight. Yeah, maybe not Sunday night. Sunday night I got to do stuff during the day. But Tuesday maybe, or next Thursday, it might be daytime zerging time on the Necro or on Chelsie or somebody else. Task Realm. Where are we, folks? We are still in Midgard for 24 minutes. So I might as well go to Midgard. No, no, no. No, I am trading with her for a boat. Thank you. Oh. Channel break time while I grab a... No, I can't do that when I'm on the boat. I'm just going to end up getting ganked when I arrive there. I'll have to do it afterwards. I was going to grab something as a snack. No, I didn't need to do that. Put that away. I have to say I'm glad you can't swim underwater like you could with TOA, because I found that irritating as hell to do. But when you sail across the water and you see stuff that's neat underwater, I kind of wish I could go look at it. Okay, I thought there was no way to do it. Used to be the page down command. Well, this is the best way to find stealthers for sure. And there's one now. Hey. Well, that's annoying. I mean, they're all going to get together to kill the kelp there. no problem. But did they have to double up on me and not double up on her and then kill me? Yeah, I know, and I don't have it. Here, I'll do it for you. Yeah, I know. And I'm still at the point where I don't see exactly what's happening for it. Well, after a fashion. I mean, somebody else did the killing part. Buff. Buff. Ablative. May or may not be the best choice to use. Oh no, I gotta wait 8 seconds on the ablative. So I'll just natter on for a second more, and there we go. Okay, and repoison. You mean the new stuff that they added? I missed that entirely. I didn't play for a couple of days there at all. So I missed all of that. Which is just fine, apparently, because... Ah, okay. Well, I've only had feedback from a few people. Did you dislike all of the stuff they were trying to put in there, Jason? I mean, I got the impression that when they add that stuff, like the 100% heal thing or whatever, that just means everybody has to have it. Oh, see, I remember reading Reddit on the fact that they were going to add this new stuff in, but I didn't really read the details. And then I didn't broadcast Tuesday night because my arm was bugging me, like it is starting to now. And so I never tested any of it. Otherwise, I would have jumped on and tried to test all that stuff because, you know, well, change the server. If it's going to affect me, I better find out about it. But now it sounds like PNA was saying they're repealing it all, pulling it back, getting rid of it. I don't think you can make sudden big changes to things successfully to a game like this. It's really hard to balance it all in the first place. And any tweaks to balance things further have to get more and more incremental, I think. Not radical. Now that's the worst aspect of an MMO like this with whatever we have. 30-something classes. Particularly for this game. Yeah, this one in particular, I think, has the worst problem they faced originally. Mythic. Well, that's the problem with, you're talking about the Realm Rank 5 abilities? Yeah. Some of them are great. Some of them were pointless, as I recall. And I don't think... I mean, okay, get to Realm Rank 5 as your first target because you get these abilities. That's kind of cool. But if it's really good for some classes and sucks for others, or is just meh, then it's not that good an incentive. And then it puts even more of a division between before Realm Rank 5 and after Realm Rank 5. And honestly, there's enough of a division between that and the higher realm ranks. Yeah, but if I remember correctly, and it has been a long time, and I am over 60, so my memory is not what it used to be, the Realm Rank 5 abilities for some classes were really kind of pointless. Didn't achieve much, weren't all that exciting, weren't something that you went, oh my god, yeah, I got that! No, not so exciting. I don't remember the details, though, so maybe I'm wrong. Oh. Yeah, I'd have to go look them up. If they came up with a generic Realm Rank 5 benefit that everybody could get that was of interest, that might work, in my opinion. But well, there again, what I would be remembering was whatever they introduced for Realm Rank 5 way back when. I don't know how that changed later on in the game, because there's like this big gap where I didn't play. So maybe I'm talking out my butt here without meaning to. I just remember that some of the Realm Rank 5 rewards were not that interesting to me. Who was that? Love. Love is already dead. Oh, well, that's too bad. Well, now, I did get some help there from somebody, I thought. Maybe not. Okay, good night, PNA. Thanks for showing up, as always. My arm is starting to bug me, so I might stop sometime soon anyway. But yeah, that was fun. I just looked and I thought somebody jumped up and done some damage to her, but maybe not. I didn't see anything there. Oh, maybe I wouldn't. Yeah, okay, and they blew their PA or whatever opening they were trying for. Oh, more people. Hello, folks. Oh, sorry. You've caught me when on Saturday, I guess, I noticed I was sort of getting, where's my camera? Started getting pain all through here and in my upper arm here and on the back of my hand here. So it's like incipient carpal tunnel syndrome or something, probably from just playing too much. And as a result, I put some painkiller on it anti-inflammatory stuff. Yeah, well, there is if it starts to cripple you and your hand cramps up and it hurts. The problem is, you see, I don't just play Dark Age of Camelot. I stream this normally 12 to 15 hours a week, but I'm either working on creating my own fonts or wasting time watching YouTube videos, or actually very rarely making a YouTube video. Or I play other games. And right now that's City of Heroes. A bunch of my friends and my wife and I are playing City of Heroes again. And that means that if my arm starts to bug me from streaming from playing DAOC too much, going and playing another game is not actually the best solution. I'm going to drop one of those and have a sit. So I can heal up that last little bit there, and I will redo my poisons while I sit here. And evidently redo my buffs too, because they've dropped, or are dropping. Okay, good enough. Buff, buff, ablative. Hello. Albion's Rache. Oh, I said that right. I don't know what Rache means, though. Race? Tavian Capulet. Did we do all the things? We did all the things. Okay. Yeah, so my problem is that I've burnt out my arm to a certain degree. I need a better mouse, I think. And my solution to that was to take it easy by playing other games. This is not really the optimal solution. Did read a lot, though. I think I read 2 books in the past 2 days. 3 days. I'm a very fast reader. This is not going very well here, is it? Not very well at all. Yeah, thank you. Me? 5L2. I have a long ways to go. On the other hand, this is the highest of any of my characters on Phoenix, so... No. I know there's a fair argument on that, but I'm mostly fighting other stealthers. And if there's actually any number of people out there, I can be in fights reasonably often. I could probably get away with Purge 4, but you need to have it up in every fight. God, I could use it twice. There's an arms race on weapon switching, right? So I have 6 weapons. So I swap 3 times. So first one, wait till they've loaded me up, hit Purge to get rid of that. Then I know they've swapped to a second weapon pair, and they're going to hit me again, and I'm going to hit them again, and then I'm going to go to my third, and they're going to go to their third. And if they're like one person that showed up here, they had like, what did they say? 17 weapons? I mean, they just keep applying stuff. That would actually be a thing I wouldn't mind if they put a limit of, like, you can only have 4 poison effects on you or something like that at a time. Or only have 2 at a time. And you'd get 2, purge, and then they give you 2 more, and that would be what you were stuck with, or something like that. Because I guess some people out there are just loading everybody up with weapon swap, boom, boom, weapon swap, boom, boom, weapon swap, boom, boom, weapon swap, boom, boom. I can't see, well, I think having 6 weapons is unreasonable, but I'll run with 6 because it kind of works. I hope I don't have to go to 8. But I went to the full purge all the time, everything, because it's up every 5 minutes. I could get away with purge 4 and have it up every 7.5 instead of 5. But I use it in every fight, and if I don't have it, I lose the fight. Pretty much guaranteed. Now, that is in part because I'm not very good, and I recognize that. But I'm trying to learn. And repoison. I don't remember if I did that because I was too busy yakking. I think I actually did. No, there. Okay, I'm going to go back out there, and I think I will do one more fight and then I will stop because I can really feel my arm right now. 26 more seconds. Okay, fine. Waiting for the timer on redoing these. Let me out. Let's do the bridge. I don't know what I did to my arm in the first place. I don't know if it's overplaying or at least over mousing. Or if what I have is a pinched nerve or something from sleeping strangely, who knows. But whatever it is, it bugs the crap out of me if I do this for too long, so... Cheesy, but I don't care. You just killed a realm mate. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Not now. Unless that was you there. Oh. Right. Yeah. Oh. Sorry, I didn't even watch your fight originally. I just saw, oh well, maybe Shade's guy's gonna win, maybe he isn't. Oh, he didn't, so I'll kill the other one. Pandero or whatever it is. Fandero, sorry. I'm going to go back inside here. I'm going to go back inside here once I figure out door technology. I'm going to stop. My arm is bugging the hell out of me. It's time to take a break. I'm sorry that it's a short stream. It's only been 2.5 hours and I normally go for like 3 or 4. So, I'm sorry about that. To a few people that just showed up, I'm sorry that you've chosen to just show up, like that it happened. It's just that I'm quitting. I broadcast normally Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So I'll be back on Sunday. I should be. Hopefully my arm is more rested then and I can broadcast for a little longer. And I hope I'll see you then. So thanks very much, everybody, for coming by. I appreciate that. And I'm gonna shut this down a little prematurely. Have a good night, everybody. It's been fun. That was weird.